as of right now, the St. Louis Cardinals, they are 9-1 in their last 10. They've won 8 straight games. I mean, good grief. They have just climbed all the way back here. If you take a look at the wild card standings, they are firmly ahead of the Cincinnati Reds by 3 games. I mean, I would imagine with the way the Cardinals have been playing, it is just, I don't know. I don't see them losing this now, unless one of these teams just get red hot and the Cardinals just go cold. I just don't see it, man. I really just don't see it. But for the Cardinals this month, just playing some great baseball. If we look at the month of September, 12-6 so far. They started playing better in August. They were pretty good there in the beginning, 14-12, and then 16-12. But then they were slumping in June and July. August, they came alive a little bit. And then September, they've been playing great baseball. So let's take a look at where they were at July 31st. So they were 52-52. They were a 500 team. Pretty disappointing. Only scored 415 runs, gave up 456. Just not a great team overall. Kind of just a sluggish team. They got a couple of good streaks in there, but then they had a couple of losing streaks in there. Just a very up and down team. But since then, they have just been going off. They had a 233 average as a team, a 304 on base, a 386 slugging, an 89 WRC plus, and a 154 ISO. These are not good numbers. This offense was really slumping. But if we take a look since the trade deadline, they have been a lot better. They've hit 260. While that's not great, it's a big improvement. The on base has been better. The slugging has been better. The WRC plus is around 20 points higher. The ISO percentage, 181. That's a lot better than what it was. So let's go take a look here at the St. Louis Cardinals offense. In all honesty, the Cardinals really didn't do anything all that different. They ranked 22nd. Not good. A negative 50.6 offensive runs above average. So when you look at the advanced numbers, they had a barrel percentage of 7.7 since the beginning of August. St. Louis, a 7.8 barrel percentage. So they're not hitting the ball any better. They're still getting the same amount of barrels. If you look at the hard hit percentage, it's a 35.6. Whereas if you look before the trade deadline, it's a 37.7. So they're actually hitting the ball not as hard since August 1st. So how is this all happening? What's going on here? Especially when you look at these advanced numbers, there's not really anything all that different. Even if you look at exit velocity, 88.4, and then 88.7 before the trade deadline. So really nothing all that different. So what is it? What exactly has been going right for the Cardinals? I'll just show you just something really simple. Batting average on balls in play before the trade deadline had a 276. That's not that good. So that shows you're getting a little unlucky. However, since the trade deadline, let's pull up the BABIP for here. The St. Louis Cardinals have been, where are they? They have a 307 BABIP compared to the 276. So what's going on here? They're just getting better luck. They're not hitting the ball any differently. The balls are just falling into play more. Simple as that. They're getting more extra base hits. So that is one thing. They're just placing the ball better. They're just getting these balls falling into play more. Let's talk about the starting pitching with the St. Louis Cardinals. So before the trade deadline, the St. Louis Cardinals, team ERA of 4.17, FIP of 4.52. They had 7.7 strikeouts per 9, but the walks were a little high at 3.76 per 9. They had they were giving up 38.8% of hard hit balls, and they were giving up 32.4% of fly balls. However, if you take a look since the trade deadline, remember at the trade deadline, they got John Lester and they got J.A. Happ. Okay? So they've had some guys really coming into the rotation and stepping up for them. And since then, the ERA is a 3.65. FIP is a little better at 4.40. But here's the key thing here. This is what I think has been the difference with the St. Louis Cardinals. Here's the difference. Let me go back before the trade deadline. Take a look at the strikeouts per 9. It was a 7.47. But take a look now. Since August 1st, 5.97. That's almost 1.5 strikeouts less per 9. So you're thinking, huh? How are they getting these better numbers? Well, now take a look at the walks per 9. Okay? Take a look at the walks per 9. Before the deadline, it was at a 3.76. Now, since then, it's at a 2.68. So what the Cardinals have been doing, they've been getting or relying more on the defense. The defense has been fantastic. If we go take a look at the defense for the St. Louis Cardinals, is some of the best in the game. So St. Louis right now, they rank 3rd in defense on the year. They have a great defensive team. You got a really good outfield. You got Nolan Arenado at 3rd base. They're taking advantage of the defense. They basically have changed their approach, and they're thinking, all right, you know what? Forget trying to strike guys out. We got to play to our strengths. Let's play with our defense here. Let's get some more fly balls. Let's get some more ground balls. And actually, take a look one more time at the pre-starting or the pre-trade deadline starting pitching. Look at the fly ball percentage. Only a 32.4%, but then after the trade deadline, it's gone up about 3%. So they're getting a lot more fly balls. They're getting these outfielders more involved. They're getting the fielders more involved. That's simply what the Cardinals are doing here. So, and Adam Wainwright has definitely been huge for them. So, especially with Jack Flaherty going down. However, there's one more thing. Let's take a look at the bullpen. Taking a look at the bullpen. Before the trade deadline, they were walking a lot of guys. 5.2 walks per 9. But also, take a look at the weighted fastball, which is the value of their fastballs. They were, it was okay. They had a run value of 6.7, so they were saving about, 6 to 7 runs with their fastballs. And the curveball, negative 13.8. The St. Louis Cardinals were terrible with their curveballs. But look after the trade deadline. Since then, they are walking a lot less guys. Their fastball is at a way better value. They've been throwing just better fastballs all across the board. And their curveball, while it is still in the negatives, that's a way better value than it was before. So they're throwing better fastballs. They're throwing better curveballs. They're not walking as many guys. One word to describe the Cardinals is they're adjusting.